Welcome back to This Day. Joining me now from Pacific Financial Planners is Jerry Slusowitz. Jerry, so nice to see you as always.
Great to see you too.
Yeah, and so you always have such great financial advice. You've been doing this for over 30 years. Tell me, do you ever get tired of repeating or teaching this, the philosophy that you have?
That's a great question. I never thought too much about it. No, I love what I do, Bobby.
Yeah.
I mean, I just do. I help people. That's what I try to do. Did one of those studies out of college, had an engineering degree, but I didn't want to follow that. And it said you should be like a social worker. And I was like, well, geez, I don't really want to do that. But I was trading since I was 18 years old and investing.
Okay.
And had a 401k and things like that. And I realized in my young 20s that I had more financial knowledge than all my friends, like put together.
Wow.
And so, some of that goes back to my parents, which is part of what we're talking about here. And I said, well, how do you do this? And I said, well, I'll be a social worker in the financial field.
And there you go.
There you
Perfect
go. So I
match
love
was
helping
made.
people. I love helping people.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, so today's topic is the business of aging. What do you mean by this?
Yeah, it's a tough one because when you look at how life goes, you have different things. You have your health, right? You have your legal side of it, wills, trusts, and that sort of stuff. But the financial side is how you pay for everything, kind of like a business. So the business side of aging, the financial side of aging, there's certain things that you have to do. And I started this way back in right around 2000 with the Orange County Council on Aging. They did a workshop for 4 weeks at different senior centers all around the county for about 5 years. And they basically said it was aging parents seminar. And they had the legal side, the health side, and I was the financial or the business side of aging.
Okay.
So this is material I've been educating people about because it's really important for that long.
Yeah, okay, definitely makes sense. So this leads into the question, your next slide, what keeps you up at night? How can residents feel more secure so, they're not worrying about their financials in the middle of the night?
Well, that's, the key, and it's a lot of things that keep you up. How are you going to pay for everything? Obviously, and running out of money are your major concerns. It's something like 65% of retirees worry about money.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of people. And some people should, and some people shouldn't either. But you kind of want to know. And that's really the thing, is people want to have answers or at least where to turn to. Like I said, I've got a lot of materials. I've got this slide right here, this handout that we're going to use at the Financial Forum. But basically, we have a lot of them. This one's what keeps you up at night. Will my money last? Obviously, that's important. What about after a divorce? What about when a loved one dies? How can I learn more about Medicare? What about evaluating long-term care facilities? And we have a nursing home checklist. If you go visit 2 or 3, it tells you the questions to ask. You put them down, you wrote down the name and address of that location, and then later when your family's discussing it, you've got a base to work from. So the unknown is what keeps people up at night, and educating yourself, because there are resources available, and again, I'm one of the resources available, that can help you at least ease your mind that you can sleep the night.
Yeah, I just heard this new saying, what you resist, persist. So if you're resisting going and getting the tools that you need to figure out, where am I, and then to bring yourself some safety and some comfort,
And Bobby, the biggest reason people resist is the fear.
Yeah.
The fear of the unknown, so they don't act.
Right. I don't know what to do, so I don't do anything.
And again, Bobby, it is true. I mean, there's good news out there. A lot of people come see us, and we'll sit down and we'll go through the portfolio, and I stand up and I say, congratulations, you won the game of life. You've got enough money, you've got enough, and they feel relieved. So sometimes your fear is unfounded too.
Right. Is this a challenge if you're just starting to consider this? If you're older, if you're in your 60s, in your 70s, is it more challenging then to?
Well, the statistics are really interesting, and a lot of news like the Motley Fool and other places are writing about the benefits of using a financial advisor. I think people, they just have a collection of investments that they've gathered through the years when they were working or when they sold a piece of property or inherited a little bit of money or what have you, and they never really put together a plan. And again, kind of like this what keeps you up at night slide is, there's more to it than just money and income. Income's super important, but there's more to it, and you need to have someone that has the resources, to educate you on all those subjects.
Okay. makes sense. Tell us about titling and record keeping. How should someone go about this?
Well, this is the key. Bobby, I don't know if you know this, but my mom just passed recently.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But they, she had, and my dad, when they were younger, had these books, and they had apartments, and they kept records. And I'm like 6, 7, 8 years old, watching my parents have records of everything they were doing, all their expenses and all this stuff. And I kind of grew up thinking that's what everybody did. And what I find is, you were asked about seniors just starting out now, is it harder? You know, if they haven't done this before, talking to financial advisors is a good idea, but at least write it down where your assets are, how much income it's putting out, how long is it going to pay that income, how long is that money going to last, et cetera. So having some documentation, if it's in your head, well, I know it all. I hear that a lot. I know it all. But you know what else I know? I know a lot of people in the village, they lose their memory, they lose their ability to function at 100%. And when that starts to degrade, if it's in your head, it's not a plan, it's a hope.
Yeah.
And then the way things are titled, super, super important. You might think, hey, when I set this account up, I made sure it was in the trust, or I made sure that my daughters were my beneficiaries. But these firms merge, they join together, they transfer around, and things change, not through any fault of your own. But it is your own fault if you don't check, especially who your beneficiaries are on your various investments. You've got an IRA, an IRA, or an annuity, or a mutual fund, money in the bank. You've got to have that record keeping and titling is super important.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. I mean, and I had a similar situation with my dad. I mean, his grandmother lived to be 103. His parents were well into their 90s, and unfortunately, my dad started having Alzheimer's. And one of the first things that happened was all of a sudden he couldn't remember the password to get into the computer.
Yeah.
So, and then my mom was struggling trying to figure it out.
Correct, because most times, most households, it's one or the other who does it, the man or the wife or whatever. But it's got to be written down. Your beneficiaries need to know. They don't need to know how much money, but they just need to know who's going to be your executor. That person needs to know. Who's going to be your caregiver for medical? That person needs to know. And sometimes I've had clients tell me they're in their late 80s and they go, "Oh my gosh, yeah, everyone I named is dead."
Oh,
so
wow.
they got to find somebody younger that's willing to take that role of being the decision maker for medical and financial, which are two different roles, by the way.
Okay. So tell us about the next financial forum coming up. There's a little bit of a change. You have something special happening?
Well, it's today. So yeah, this afternoon, 3 to 5, Clubhouse 3, the Performing Arts Center, Dining Room 1. Yeah, my son's graduating college on Friday, so got to fly to Arizona to go for his graduation, so we had to move it a day.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
That is going to be a really special.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. And I have to say, I like the blue shirt.
Thank
I love
you, Bobby.
To find out more about the business side of aging, make sure to come attend the Financial Forum. That's today, Wednesday, May 8th at 3 p.m. here in the Performing Arts Center, Clubhouse 3, Dining Room 1. You are always welcome to bring a friend. And if you'd like to find out more about Jerry and Pacific Financial Planners, you can give them a call at 949-219-0692. Stay with us because we have Live Smart Technologies coming up right after this.